A new trailer for Pokemon Legends ZA has revealed Mega Dragonite. And Mega Dragonite adds some credit to a theory that I came up with many moons ago on this channel. Let's talk all about it. Welcome back to the post where we talk about all things Pokemon, and today we're going to be talking about Mega Dragonite and my thoughts on it, but we're also going to do a little bit of theory stuff. I'm going to start with the stuff that you clicked the video for, and that is the big theory. So a while ago, in fact, right after Scarlet and Violet's launch, I noticed a Pokemon called Roaring Moon. Roaring Moon is very similar in its appearance to Mega Salamence, and also its Pokedex entry even draws a similarity there, talking about how Roaring Moon looks like it has a connection to a phenomenon that occurs in another region, which is very clearly a reference to Mega Evolution. With this theory, as well as some dex entries that we have about Mega Evolutions, and even just some designs on Mega Evolutions, we're able to draw a conclusion that Mega Evolution seems to be an evolution, truly, just as the name suggests, but one that uses latent DNA from the Pokemon, so DNA that it gets from its ancestors or perhaps its predecessors in its evolutionary line to evolve itself further. Part of this can be explained like with Aerodactyl having its Mega Evolution seemingly being closer to what it looked like back in ancient times. That would make a ton of sense. Salamence having its Mega Evolution look very similar to what we're told is a past version of Salamence. And then also you can see this with the evolutionary line with Tyranitar having some features in its Mega Evolution that seems to be similar in shape to Pupitar, as well as having some of the color schemes from Larvitar. And now we have Mega Dragonite. Mega Dragonite gets these big angel wings on its head, like in place of its antenna. And then it also has some more wings on its body, each one kind of having some more angelic features. Not only this, but Dragonite becomes more serpentine, with its body becoming a little bit sleeker and its tail becoming longer and having a familiar blue orb at the end. This is obviously a reference to Dragonair. Dragonair is a Pokemon that is long and it's more serpentine-like. In fact, it's just a full-on serpent, and it also has these angel wings that sit at the top of its head and has a blue orb towards the tip of its tail. Not only does Dragonair have these little angel wings, but when Dragonair flies, at least in the anime, we are shown that these angel wings will expand and become these much bigger wings, and Dragonair will actually fly with these and flap its wings. And that's exactly what we see happen to Dragonite here, with its antenna growing these angel wings again from Dragonair and being able to kind of flap them. Like you can see that they're clearly flappable wings. Dragonite uses this to fly. So yeah, let's just get into all of the fun of this design. I mean, I do really like this design. I think from what I've seen, the fan base is kind of mixed on it. It seems that some people are thinking it's lackluster, and some people are appreciating it for what it is. I personally do appreciate this design. If y'all didn't see my profile picture when you clicked on this video, look now. You'll see that I'm a Dragonite fan, and yeah, you can actually see I've got Dragonite behind me over there on the shelf. I have a larger Dragonite right there, right next to Totodile, which is kind of perfect for today's trailer. But yeah, I'm a big Dragonite fan, and I think that when you're a fan of a Pokemon, you start to appreciate the Pokemon for what it is, not what maybe you'd want it to be or anything like that. And I appreciate that Dragonite is not this ferocious, kind of scary dragon like Salamence or Garchomp or Hydreigon. It is a more friendly dragon, kind of more in line with like Goodra, for example. And so giving it this very magical girl-esque, as I've seen some people describe it, Mega Evolution for Dragonite fits in with it. And it also, like I said, does support the theory of a connection between Mega Evolution and latent DNA. Ultimately, though, I cannot act like I am, like I can't be in denial. This is not like the most perfect Mega Dragonite fan design, but I think this is where fan artists kind of become a problem. And I want to be clear, I am not remotely about to hate on some fan artists. I have many friends in the community who are fan artists, and also I respect the work of fan artists. I look at them. But ultimately, when you have a Pokemon like Dragonite, a Pokemon who's been around since the very first generation of the franchise, and it's also a Pokemon that we have been you know, wanting a form for it. It's one of the few Kanto Pokemon who hasn't gotten a regional variant, a Mega Evolution, a Gigantamax form, anything like that. You start to kind of get your own idea of what it could be. And then for, you know, 30 years, you're able to build on that idea and imagine the best possible version of it. It also doesn't help that, in case some of you didn't know, it was leaked beforehand that there was a Mega Dragonite. And because of that leak, people started drawing up their own designs based on the description we got. So it kind of becomes this game of telephone. You ever seen that? Where like a person will whisper someone to the person next to them, they'll whisper it to the next person, and so on and so on. And by the time it gets to the 5th or 6th person, the sentence is completely different from what the first guy whispered. And that's kind of what happened. Someone saw a Mega Dragonite, wrote down how they'd describe it. That description got passed around, and, you know, honestly, too, depending on where you're sourcing your information from, someone might have tweaked it a little bit or tried to reword something, and then an artist reads that description and draws up what they think it looks like, and it's obviously going to be, they're going to try to make it look as great as possible. So then it ultimately makes people upset when they see the final design. But is that Pokemon's fault? No. But yeah, I do really appreciate the design. I like it for what it is. Let me know what you think about the design in the comments below. I'm hot off the presents. You know, for those who didn't know, I've been on Hidden Power live covering this and like reacting to the presents. And we're actually going again later at 3 or 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today on July 22nd. To kind of do a breakdown. So I'm right off that live stream, and so the stuff is still fresh in my head, and I'm still excited about it. But we're here, baby. Dragonite's gotten something. Something that I'm kind of curious about is what its ability will be. I'm hoping... So I'll tell you what I think it is, and then I'll tell you what I hope it is. I think it's going to end up being Gale Wings. You know, we see an emphasis in Dragonite's design with the wings and all, so it makes sense to do an ability that connects it to wings. Ultimately, I would not be a fan of this, and the reason why is because Gale Wings is an ability that's affected by Dragonite being at full health. Dragonite, however, currently has an ability that does that. Multiscale is affected by the Pokemon's full health. Multiscale, when Dragonite's on full health, makes it where moves to it will do half the damage. So it's able to take an Ice Beam, and instead of doing 4 times damage to Dragonite, it's actually only going to do 2 times damage to Dragonite. A move like, you know, a standard move like a Rock Slide, that is 2 times effective on Dragonite because flying type's weak to rock, but that actually negates it to be just like a normal type move hitting Dragonite. So it's a really good ability, but Gale Wings makes it where on full health, flying type moves will have priority. They'll go first. The issue with that is that, for one, that means when I throw out Dragonite and it's on full health, I have to choose, do I want it to land its flying moves first, or do I want it to, you know, have the health thing going on here? And yes, you could opt for Inner Focus instead of Multiscale, but still, it stands. And also, there's the fact that Dragonite doesn't get a lot of great flying type moves. In fact, a lot of players recently have been opting for flying type Terra Blast, you know, Terra Flying Terra Blast, and that wouldn't work for it either, because if you're Mega Evolving it, then Terra Blast is going to be normal type because it's not terrestrialized, it's Mega Evolved, you know? So what I'm hoping for is that something else. I do think they should do the ability based around the wings. Honestly, Wind Rider. Do you see the vision? We see the vision, right? We see the vision. That would be really cool. The stats on Dragonite's going to be insane. Dragonite's a Pokemon that's always competitive. It's always a Pokemon that does well in competitive. And so getting to Mega Evolve, that would not hurt it. That would not hurt it. I'm excited. I'm so excited for the future of Legends EA, what other Mega Evolutions they'll bring. And I'm excited to play with these guys in Champions and get to see what abilities they'll have, because I don't think there are abilities in ZA. It seems like that's all but confirmed that there's no abilities in ZA, but Champions will have that, and I'm excited to see what its ability will be. Let me know your predictions on it. Let me know your thoughts on it. All that fun stuff. What do you think of the presents today? Be sure to catch me over on Hidden Power live from 3 or 4 is when we'll be going on. Then again, we will be going live tomorrow at noon and Thursday at noon as well with some special creators whom you know and love. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, all that fun stuff. And until next time, I'll see all of you later.